I know that there's a lot of people who, everybody in this room and everybody who visits the Venus Project, who are ready like to tomorrow be like, all right, I'm ready to do whatever I need to in order to switch over to this resource-based economy and this new paradigm. But it seems like there's like a lot of things that need to happen in between. What is the number one thing that I can do today and tomorrow to make the transition happen in my lifetime?
I can tell you what you can do. Do you go to Zeitgeist meetings?
No.
Oh, when you go, gotta go where the Venus people gather. And you have to say this. The United Nations has millions of dollars set aside for sustainability. All different corporations have money set aside for sustainability. So you try to get funds. You wear a necktie and you go with your girlfriend to a corporation and say, we want to make sustainable automobiles with proximity devices. And you've got to collect funds. If you don't collect funds, you can't build anything. See, Roxanne and I spent our own money building this whole thing, and just to get people to see a little bit of what the future could be. But you need more people to cooperate, so you have to raise funds to support either the Venus Project research or the building the first experimental city.
Okay, because I was
You
wondering.
might get it from the UN, you might get it from sustainable, there are a lot of organizations like the Peace Corps. They don't know how to maintain peace. They travel with a ship alongside of another ship that's damaging the oceans, and they go like that. You know, that doesn't change anything. If the Japanese kill the whales, it's because they have no other way of living. If you support them, they won't kill the whales. When you say stop killing the fish and overfishing the oceans. The Japanese sell fish, they live by fish. If you don't support them, how are they going to live? You tell a person, don't sell drugs. He says, I have no education, I make a living wage, just a minimal wage. If my kids get sick, I can't take them to the doctor. And somebody came over to me and says, you can make $1,000 a week selling drugs. So he says, look, I got to feed my kids, I got to pay the rent. And so they do that, not because they're bad. There's no other way for a person without the appropriate type of education to make money. And let me tell you that even people with education are going to be replaced in the next 10 years by machines. You understand? Engineering can take an hour and a half to make a computer to give you the formula for anything. You don't need engineers. They're very easy to replace. Because even engineers have a handbook. If they don't know a certain thing, they refer to that book. If you go to a lawyer and you have a strange problem, he's got a whole bunch of books on what to do about those problems. It's very easy to computerize that so you can look up anything. We have no lawyers in the future. We have no lawsuits. We have no millionaires. We have people that live very well, very comfortable. Because the standard of living for everybody will go up. There is no subculture.
Excuse me, Jacque. I want to expand on that answer. The best thing you can do, if you're not in a position to talk to somebody who has funding to do a new city, or to do the movie that Jacque and I want to do, or to help PJ do his next film, whatever, the best thing to do is get our materials, look at the materials on the website, learn about it, practice talking to other people about it, and join the Zeitgeist Movement, because they're doing that in groups. They're going out and they're doing activist things in the streets, and they're renting halls where they're showing different films, and they're educating people, and they're putting out materials. So they're joining together to do this. Some groups are reading different books on the web, the books that are on the website, on our reading list, and talking about it together. So they have more ammunition to go out and talk to others about it. So the best thing you can do if you're not in a position to make films, to write, to make music about it, to talk to people who can initiate something, is to learn about it and learn how to talk to others about it. Because that's how, it was just, Jacque and I were doing this for 30 years. We had certain magazines that would write about it around the world. Some just, thought the designs were nice, but wouldn't even touch the social direction, which was the most important. And it wasn't until we met one person, Peter Joseph, and he just made it available to the whole world. So you never know who you meet. And learning about it and talking about it is important.
You want to know what you can do about it? You can call up broadcasting companies, NBC, CBS, and say, I'd like to hear the Venus Project. Because all we hear is military people and business people. I'd like to hear other Americans' point of view. And they say, well, we never heard of it. Well, look it up on the website. See, then call universities and say, you get nothing but propaganda at the universities. You don't get a broad point of view. How about having a Venus Project presentation? You have to call all universities. And so, if we get to universities, we can get to the students before they become part of the money system. Do you understand? That's what you can do about it. Do whatever you can. All clubs, organizations, tell them to have a Venus Project presentation.
And then the goal, is, the next goal would be to make a model city, like.
Yes, yes, and invite people to look at it, then build 3 in Russia, 3 in China, until we're all merged.
We think
You
even
can't do
before
it
the
overnight.
city is, we'd like to do a major motion picture. It's a little bit, you know, Peter's doing a tremendous job, but we'd like to show what life in the future could be like to the general public. It's a different type of film.
Right.
Yeah, and so they'll understand, they'll walk out and say, why don't we build this now? They'll understand what they're missing, because they know nothing other than communism, socialism, free enterprise, and they don't even know what that is. Democracy, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So we want to show what's possible with our technology today, what we could, how we could
What it would look like.
live, yeah,
Well,
within a
I-
resource-based
I
economy.
want to say this, we do it through soap operas. We will make soap operas in the future, you know, Helen Trent's Troubles. Well, in that soap opera, the little girl says, Daddy, I'm going to become a student of sociology. He says, what's that? And it shows what sociology is. Oh, that's good. We always use soap operas to introduce new things. The old world comes on, but the new things are introduced until one day they say that all our problems are technical.